Do you believe in ghosts or in curses from the past? Every night when the city drifts into slumber, I step into another world, one where time no longer follows its rules. Today, I will lead you into a place more terrifying than imagination itself, the Museum of Ancient Relics. Steel your nerves, for once you hear that faint, echoing click-clack, there will be no turning back.
The Ancient Relics Museum of the Old Capital. At night, the dust of centuries and a suffocating sense of history. I was one of the few conservators assigned to the night shift, a solitary job, cataloging and restoring rare artifacts. Each step I took upon the marble floors echoed into the silence, as though I were walking down a corridor of time itself. Each glass case seemed to contain a single breath of the past, sometimes twitching in my peripheral vision. Whether an illusion or a barely perceptible shift, I could never tell. At first, it was nothing more than the usual solitude. But then Dr. Eleanor Vance, our eccentric head curator, began issuing instructions in a tone so dry and unnerving it was as if she were speaking directly to the thin air around her. Dr. Vance, never risk crossing the lock of the time wing after midnight. And if you hear the faint rhythmic clicking of an antique recording device, ignore it. It's just the sedimentation of time. Unease crept in, slow as moss across stone. My fellow night worker Liam and I noticed Dr. Vance wasting away, her eyes hollowing out. She was no longer merely eccentric, she was possessed. She muttered of preserving integrity and tears in the fabric of time, words that sounded like the lament of a broken mind. Soon she was speaking to temporal phantoms only she could see, shuddering as she claimed time in the chamber ran backward by a few seconds. The true horror struck on a damp Wednesday night. Rain lashed the museum's tall windows like icy whips. Then, from behind the heavy oak door, locked, dark, and supposedly empty, came a sound. The unmistakable rhythm of an old kinetoscope, but louder, harsher, metallic, as if rust itself had found a voice. The mechanical clatter carried with it a chill sharper than steel. They froze, the air thickening, time itself seeming to stretch and warp. Pupils tightened, their stares locked in dread beneath the dim hallway light. And then abrupt silence. A silence so oppressive they felt it press against their lungs.
The nightmare climax came the following night. Dr. Vance's obsession snapped. She demanded we enter the time wing, the very threshold she once dreaded. We must go in. We must check the loop. Its expanding space and time are tearing. We found her, a husk of herself, gaunt, disheveled, eyes bloodshot and swollen, as though she hadn't slept in weeks. She collapsed over a table strewn with brittle star maps. The loop does not end. The keeper of time, he is here. He never leaves. She described a dim figure hunched over a desk, skeletal fingers frantically sorting scrolls at inhuman speed, a kinetoscope droning behind him, its hum not mechanical, but warped, like the echo of a strangled breath. She insisted a heavy temporal resonance pressed down upon us. None of us slept after that cursed shift. The invisible hands chill, the phantom clacking, Vance's terror, they haunted us. We requested transfer soon after. Yet sometimes, in quiet nights, especially when I sift through old manuscripts, when the scent of faded ink and rotting paper seeps into my skin, I still hear it. The soft, rhythmic clack, clack, clack. Not with my ears, but inside the marrow of my soul. At times, fleeting images flicker like torn celluloid across my peripheral vision, unplaceable yet dripping with the weight of the past. Perhaps it is Finch's ghost, trapped in his own loop. Or perhaps it is only my obsession. All I know is this: some knowledge once grasped never truly fades, and some places are never truly empty. They are merely waiting to repeat. The faint light of dawn could not dispel the darkness etched deep within my soul. The doors of the Museum of Antiquities closed behind me, yet the haunting clatter still echoed in my mind. I had escaped one loop, but fear continued to pursue me like a shadow. This world is far vaster than I had imagined. The whispers of the dead, the warnings from a locked door, they were not merely the ravings of a mad woman. They were proof of a terrifying truth. Some places do not only hold relics of the past, but also forgotten tongues, entities trapped in silence, waiting for a fool to set them free. And like a curse, that obsession led me elsewhere, far from the marble corridors of the museum, to a place buried in mist, where ancient languages whisper from beneath the earth.
The fog lay thick as a funeral shroud, draping the snow-laden peaks of the Swiss Alps. Rising from that spectral haze loomed the Alpine Institute of Archaic Languages, a Gothic ruin of stone, as if a slumbering monster had been carved into the mountain itself. As the jeep crawled up the slope through damp mist, Dr. Liana Volkov felt a chill ripple down her spine. Welcome or not, beware the whispers beneath the ground. Some words should never be spoken. A breath of damp rot and cold iron swept out, the exhalation of something that had slept for centuries and was now slowly waking. Their attention soon converged on the Obsidian Codex, a discovery walled within a hidden chamber. Not paper, not vellum, but smooth black slabs of volcanic glass, etched with alien symbols. She was enthralled, as if chosen. Hours bled into nights as she pored over the glyphs, hollowing herself with hunger and fatigue. One midnight, Liana unlocked a sequence of symbols, a shiver of recognition, not understanding, but recognition slid through her mind. At once, her body convulsed violently, spine arched like a bowstring. Icy energy ripped through her veins, an electric floodstorm searing her brain. And in that maelstrom, she glimpsed it, a formless being, eyes, twin furnaces glowing from another dimension. Marco awoke not to Liana's screams, but to an otherworldly shriek splitting the silence, vibrating in his marrow.
He burst into her study, where a pale green radiance seeped through the door. Inside, Leon arrived, body contorted, glyphs from the obsidian codex glowing upon her skin, pulsing like living tattoos. Her voice gurgled in an inhuman cadence, guttural syllables like countless ancient tongues forcing their way out. Her eyes glowed with a feverish red, no longer Liana's, but something else's. Marco seized her arm, ice-cold, stone-like. He tried to drag her free, but she was fixed by an invisible force. With desperate strength, he wrenched her past the threshold. In his arms, she collapsed, staring with that crimson gaze. Liana's face, but not Liana.
Morning brought no peace. Sophia found Marco unconscious in the hall, his face twisted in frozen terror. Roth muttered endlessly in the library. Lena lay in her chamber, alive but shattered, her skin crawling with etched sigils. She mumbled not in voice, but in an ancient chorus spilling from her throat, thousands of tongues overlapping. The case was closed as unexplainable, dismissed as hysteria. But Marco remembered whispers echoing in his skull, his memory stripped raw, as if his very soul had been gnawed away. A few days later, Roth was dead. The deformed gatekeeper vanished without trace, perhaps no man at all, but only a warning. Lena survived, but not unchanged. Her voice was gone, stolen by that ancient tongue. And sometimes, in the alpine nights, she dreams not her own dreams, but those of the Codex. Dreams whispered in languages the earth was never meant to hear. Now, in the stillness of the night, I am no longer haunted by the clatter of the old machine or the terror-stricken face of Vance. What remains is a profound silence, an emptiness no human language can fill. Lena is still here, yet she is no longer the Lena we once knew. Her voice has been stolen, replaced by a chorus of whispers that only she can hear. Perhaps we won. Perhaps we escaped the thing that devoured Roth's mind and claimed Lena's soul. But the truth is, we can never truly be free. Memories have been gnawed away, words distorted, secrets stolen. We are no longer entirely human. We are fragments of a dreadful tale, bearers of the weight of forbidden knowledge. And in the silence, I understand there are secrets that do not merely shatter the mind, they corrode the soul, and they never release those who have touched them.